Hello and welcome to HiveState Bakugan. Today we're going to be doing something a little different that might bore some of you. Today we're going to be going over the comprehensive rules for Bakugan. Now, I'm going to break this video up into two parts. You have the part that you're watching right now, unless you clicked away. And this is the kind of condensed version. If you want the full, every single page of this thing, there's also going to be a link for that and a card for that. So you can click on that now if you want to watch that instead of this. Same video, just more content. So, whichever one you want to watch, let's get started. Priority and timing. So at the start of each turn, the player who won the most recent brawl becomes the starting player. So that's interesting. Even though the turns are simultaneous, I guess there is actually a starting player from turn to turn. That's interesting. The player who places the final Bakugan during the game's initial setup is the starting player on the first turn of the game. And repeating them again, the six factions are Aquas, Darkus, Heos, Pyrus, Ventus, and Aurelius. A card with two or more faction symbols is considered to be both factions. Effects may change a card's faction. A card with two or more faction symbols is indicated to be both factions. That's interesting because so far we've only seen one faction cards as far as I know, so... Energy cards have the card type energy card while in play, but have their printed card type while in any other zones. Players can no longer look at the text side of a card once it has been energized in the zone. So if you energize a card off the top of your deck, you're not allowed to see what you just energized, so you don't know what you just took out of your deck. Interesting. Players are not allowed to have more than 7 cards in their hand at the end of each of their turns. If a player does have more than 7 cards at the end of a turn, that player must choose 7 to keep and discard the rest. This made the card Brain Geyser go from wonderful to just okay. You get to, if you don't know Brain Geyser, you get to draw cards off the top of your deck equal to the remaining number of damage. So you're technically not taking damage. If you deck out, you're fine. But whenever there was no hand limit, and you just got to draw, I don't know, 12 cards in a turn, it was wonderful. But now it needs to be thought about more along the lines of allowing you to craft your hand however you want. But I'm going on a tangent. Let's get back to the rules. Bakugan must be released within 2 vertical card lengths from the edge of the table closest to the player rolling it. So that's interesting. I'm going to get back onto that in a sec. Considered open, but doesn't receive the bonus from the Baku core. Next, we move on to the brawl phase, but I want to rewind just a second. This said, a Bakugan must be released within 2 vertical card lengths from the edge of the table, closest to the player rolling it. So, that means, you can't roll from your opponent's edge of the table. Okay. That didn't mention 2 card lengths away from the hide matrix. That... I'm going to have to look some things up on that, but continuing with the rules. Shadow Strike. Bakugan with Shadow Strike can't have its damage rating or B power reduced by cards or Baku cores. Example, if a Bakugan with Shadow Strike is the victor of a brawl phase and they're attached to a Baku core that gives it -2 damage rating, the Baku core is ignored. When a Bakugan gains Shadow Strike, it reverts any effect that reduced its damage rating or B power that turn. That was actually one of the questions that I had. So if you roll a normal Bakugan onto a core, it's a trap, you're getting -4 damage. If you play a card that gives you Shadow Strike, do you also get that 4 back? You do. That's nice, I like that. Illegal Bakugan plays. When a Bakugan is rolled closer than 2 card lengths from the edge of the closest Baku core in the Baku core field, it's an illegal Bakugan roll. There's where this rule is. So... technically, it seems like some surfaces you cannot play this game on. Actually, yeah, there's going to be a video on this soon. Keep an eye out for that. And if you didn't watch the full long-length video, this is the end of the short one. So Make sure to stick around. There will be new Bakugan content at least 3 times a week, so there's going to be something new coming next week. Actually, in doing this video, I had an idea for like 2.5 others, so make sure to stick around. But whether you do or whether you don't, you'll see me when you see me.